Track baby, track another one.
DUSE M, PT.
Jump on it, jump on it, jump on it. Jump on it, jump on it.
Jump on it, ride it like jockey. The hell smoking that loud, lace the yak with mine. Make your mama proud, popping it like shot. Turn up, it's a gangster party.
PT ain't never popped a Molly, but if I ever catch Mac, I'ma pop a Holly. I don't even rob a cop the Harley. Blowing so much green, I shame Marley. Yeah, I push the line to its full limit. Hit the hole like 22, boy, I'm a young Emmett. Nothing go like snow, now that's a cold image. Still whistling, sending, knocking them white women. Only reason I do it to avenge image. To the day they go before they box me out. Knowing me, it don't matter, I simply change my route. On my hobby.
Wes. Welcome to the Damu Kiwe Conversations. Home of the West Coast. The voice of the culture. It's DUSE M's the Don. Bang that like button, you know what I'm saying? Let me go ahead and make sure I got the right camera on. No, that's audio. Let me go to camera. Okay. Yeah, we on bang that like button, man. We over here on the Lamonte Sims page. They got me, dog. You know what I'm saying? They got me, dog. Bang that like button. You know what I'm saying? Slim Fat Dude, salute. He said you was already thinking. That's why you ran it on Lamonte Sims page. These rats ain't effing with you. Hey, listen, bro. It's nasty work. Michael Brown, salute. Only a hit dog yelp, you know what I'm saying? The union's in the building. Y'all share this with everybody, man. All the good people that y'all know that don't know that we live, you know what I'm saying? And this is where we're going to be at for at least 7 days, you know what I'm saying? We got to run the content from here because they struck the ActiveChuckss page. A crackhead, Eddie came. Nights like this, I wish. They say I'm harassing people. I put out public information. I thought that the truth will set us free. That's crazy, bro. You were saying it too. Shaking my head, bro. Yeah, the crackhead upset. Yeah, we struck a nerve, man. We struck it there. Let me send this to the Discord. You know what I'm saying? We're going to send this. Johnny, what up? We're going to send this to the Discord. And trust and believe, we got more. Crackhead Eddie now says that the feds came and talked to him and gave him a heads up. Gave him a heads up at his parole office. We got it. CS2 back. Linked up with the Long Beach dudes. I can't say they Crips because I don't know no Crips that would allow me to come on there and disrespect some other Crips and politic with them. And then they told them stay out of Crip business. And he exposed and said, you the one that tell me all the Crip business. You know what I'm saying? ODM Slim, what's good? The irony when he does this same exact thing they do with the Big U every day, bro. Every day. Salute to the live, Jungle Boy TV. Salute, bro. Free Big U, free ActiveChuckss YouTube. They telling on everybody. ODM Slim Live. Salute. There's so many reaction videos, so the content is already out there. Win is a win. Yeah, man. Listen, man. I don't care about this YouTube. Y'all don't understand. I'm a real boss. You know what I'm saying? I meet with investors daily and getting this mobile app done. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna keep one thing y'all can count me on relevant to what the repercussions is. I was a gangster on the street, so I took what came with it. And on YouTube, I'm gonna be the same shit. I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do, and whatever come with that, then that come with that. Whether it's exposing these niggas as busters or what. So you got P Nice. And let me get to this content, man. You got P Nice and I don't know who the other dude is. And then you got the Crip cop. This nigga is actually, we did the content last night. He actually is the Crip cop, bro. You know what I'm saying? He applied to work for the police, LAPD, bro, and failed. He's still telling you where he at. He's never been, never will be. You know, Joey Westside, salute. So look, we gonna get into this real quick. Bow Wow from Grape Street. That nigga crazy. What you mean Bow Wow from Grape Street? Let's get this up. Boom. So let's go here. P-Nice checks wax. So Crackhead Eddie calls in on this video. Let's listen to this. These dudes is supposed to be Crips. This is why I don't gang bang no more. But this type of shit right here would never have happened on my watch of another blood. I'm just gonna keep it a buck. Let's go.
You bitch ass nigga. You put your hands on me, nigga, when I was pregnant. That nigga didn't know that motherfucking phone was on, and I'm live streaming for her phone and said, "Can you call 911?" She go up to her room. She talking to me, nigga. She's hysterical. Knock at the door. SK, just calm down. That nigga gonna leave.
But did you tell him, is you telling P-Nice that you were FaceTiming her, that you was coercing her on what to do to try to lock another black man up so you could steal the contracts? Didn't you say you was coming for his credibility in those contracts? Let me get that video, because y'all ain't got to believe me. I'm gonna let y'all hear him tell it. Since y'all want to believe him so much, we gonna make sure you can't argue with me. Y'all can argue with me, hating ass niggas.
Police at the door and the security. What's up, ma'am? Has nothing to do with the hotel. The gentleman downstairs is making an arrest and filing charges. In front of her kids. This shit is live. On audio. He ain't knowing that I'm streaming at the clubhouse. Live and direct. He don't know this is going on.
See, that type of situation right there is different.
What?
It's different.
So Big U doesn't know that you're streaming this to Clubhouse. How are you streaming this to Clubhouse unless you're the one on the phone? So that go ahead and substantiates everything that I just told you. This police ass nigga, coward ass buster who wouldn't pull up for the fade sends a woman to do a man's job, right? She got more heart than him. She gonna take one on the chin. She gonna take one on the chin, which is what she's suspecting. This buster sent a woman to do a man's job, right? And she's FaceTiming him. So he's streaming straight to YouTube. That's how I heard it. That's how I know he was behind it. Let me get this video for y'all, man. Let's finish listening to that. We'll get to that one next. Let's go.
I'm saying, like,
You call the police on your own, girl?
no, you're not supposed to do that. But I'm saying the other shit, like the paperwork, I haven't seen it, or nobody been in jail and all that type of shit. That's why I'm siding with that.
Right.
Now, with that, right is right, wrong is wrong.
Got 32 years. Because this nigga said, I should have never went for work for Eddieboy, so they gave him the extra charge of being the motherfucking...
But the police said he said that. I don't believe nothing no police say.
What?
I don't believe nothing no police say. Police come...
It wasn't in the interrogation room, though, right?
Yeah. And we on live, right? It's me, Wag, Bow Wow, P-Nice, right? So, you know, P-Nice is asking, like, who did Big U tell on? Like, did you get in trouble for anything he said, or like, what happened? Because we read the paperwork. He trying to say that the nigga ain't a rat.
Is it out of police station statement? Like,
wait a minute, bro. See, did y'all show him the brief, the pellet brief?
Let me see it.
So they're laughing, they're ridiculing, talk about, did you see the appellate brief? That's the same thing he just said. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the appellate brief. Let me type all of the stuff. Matter of fact, I could just write it down. Right? I'm gonna write down all of the stuff that they said that they didn't have. So the Eddieboy paperwork. We're gonna go through all of this today. The appellate brief, right? The appellate brief. What else did I say I was gonna show first? I was gonna show that the Crip cop actually tried out for the LAPD. The Crip cop. This is who these Crips, so-called Crips. This is who these so-called Crips is. It got on their show trying to call another Crip a snitch, but the other Crip is the only one in jail. Make it make sense, bro. Let's get to it.
Eddieboy, this P Nice, man.
What's up, brother?
What's happening with it? Hey, no. What I'm asking is like, I ain't seen no paperwork of him telling. That's what I said.
Like that.
What do you mean you ain't seen it, brother? It's been online for the last 2-3 years.
I ain't did my research. You feel me? I'm going off of what y'all saying. You know what I'm saying? But my question was, who has been in jail off of what they saying he snitched on? I ain't know of nobody who.
Okay,
who
I
in jail.
know on my case, our case, he got out on our case, right? And he went into jail up under Dave Austin. Dave Austin, right?
Yeah.
So when we got to the police station, when we got arrested, he made 2 statements. He said, I should have never went to go work for Eddie, and I never touched the dope Eddie did. Right?
Where's that statement at?
When we got to the
He said that the paperwork says Big U said, I never touched the dope Eddieboy did. Big U says he never touched the dope. This is how you catch somebody lying, right? He never touched the dope Eddieboy did. We finna pull up that what you call it. This is snitch jacket, and this is a federal tactic right before their eyes. And these Crips is so slow they don't even peep the play. Look at both of these niggas, nervous, sitting on edge. Look.
When I got the police report, we were cellies, and I showed it to him. So when I showed it to him, he was like, "Oh, Ed, man, you know how the police be lying." So I gave him the benefit of the doubt because, you know, we homies.
Yeah.
You know, we 22 years old, we homies. So when we got found guilty, when we went to the pen, we was both in Calipatria yard. We was still cool. But when I went to the A yard and he was still on the C yard, he started telling all the homies that was coming on the yard that I told on him, and I only got 5 years, and I got 32 years, and he got 23. Right.
That's a lie. He told him you was told when you left the other yard is because you got down on tone. The police was coming to visit you in jail. They said you was telling on tone from 111. Big U clarified that you never told on y'all case. Clarified that. Why do you keep trying to push that false narrative? Oh, I guess he got to try to stick to the script. But let's go.
Why would he start saying?
If y'all got the case,
I don't know,
send
bro.
it to me.
We did that.
I don't know why he did that shit.
He said some niggas.
My only thing was like, for me, analyzing everything, I guess he was blaming me because we was in jail and he didn't want to be up in there. He didn't know how to deal with that stuff like that. You know how most dudes adapt to, the jail system and all that type of stuff. It was hard for him to adapt to that, bro.
Right.
So, and that's what happened. So at that particular time in that era, bro, I don't know if you or your brothers or anything, when you the rat up in that system like that, you're fair game for everybody. Right.
Yeah.
And then basically he didn't have no paperwork on it, but dudes word of mouth, travel. So some dudes will believe him.
You talking about believing what Big U said about you, right?
Yeah.
Right. So some dudes will believe him, some dudes didn't. So, and that's just what that was, bro. So what I did was I took a copy into the program office and I sent all the paperwork to the section. And when I sent it to the section, everybody knew about the whole situation. But once again, a lot of dudes swept it up under the rug. So when Big U got out in 2004, the majority of us that was hitters over there and from that community, we was still doing time, because we all got caught up around at the same time.
Yeah.
And then some of the brothers that in that generation, they walked away. About the time we came home, we was in our 40s.
Right.
We was 40. So a lot of brothers walked away. So when Big U got home, he went home into a different era and a different generation. So he was the big homie, and he didn't have nobody over there to contest on what he had going on over there.
Yeah.
So because we was all gone, we all outgrew that. So at some particular point in time in your life, there's an expiration date. So you walk away from that particular type of stuff.
Right.
But so that's what that was, man. And them brothers know he did that. He got out, and like I said, bro, it becomes selective. And everything becomes selective now. It's just like with this case right now, shit is coming selective, but it's all gonna come to the light, bro. But I know on our case, he got out on me, bro, and I have the proof of that. We've been circulating online, brother, for the last 2-3 years. Wagner should have it in their phone.
An IQ of 85 to 115 is considered average in the U.S.
So why do you think people throw none of the rug?
Because come on, man, because you got to understand this, bro.
I'm telling you.
You said what?
You have to understand this, bro. When you dealing with that with that gang activity or that gang culture, they don't want their hood to look bad. And if Big U's a figure like that, they don't want him to look bad like that, bro.
Yeah.
Because he's a figure. So they rather just not deal with that.
Right.
At all. So that's just what that is, man. So you know how that shit go. You not no rookie.
No, for sure, 100%. So when you got out, did you ever become cool with you though?
No. I'm gonna tell you. When I got out, bro, I got out in 2008, October 2008, right? I'm Muslim at that particular time, so I'm hot. They got me on high-risk parole. They got me on the watch list and all that type of stuff because of the situation with the Muslim stuff that was happening in the world at that particular time.
Yeah.
So I don't go around nobody. I don't talk to nobody. I'm just dealing with the brothers. And that's this and that, and that's it, and that's all. But when I got off parole, my parole officer came up in there with like 3 alphabet boys. So when they came up in there, they told me that I was a waste of their time because the way I was moving, I was working, I was doing what I was supposed to do, and they said I was a waste of their time. The information they got on me and was wrong, but they did give me a heads up. They told me to stay away from that neighborhood, and they told me that basically.
So the feds come see him at his probation office. There's just, we're going to come to your probation office and talk to you and give you a heads up. Hey, stay away from your neighborhood.
A lot of dudes from that section was on their payroll.
And a lot of guys over there from 6-0 is working for us. Why would the feds feel obligated to let him know that they got informants over there in his neighborhood when the whole point that they're confidential informants is to keep it secret so that people wouldn't even suspect that they've been infiltrated? Why would they tell Crackhead Eddie that? My bad. Why would they tell Crackhead Eddie that? Wack finally says that he stole the game from Big U. Suge was the one that said give it to him. Since then, Wack been in his feelings. So that's not being a snitch telling on somebody on YouTube. You can't stream or FaceTime the Clubhouse. Peace to stand on the media. Salute to stand on the media. Stand on it. What's going on, my brother? This is nasty work. Bo Monty the Great. Salute. DUSE M, he's holding public court, spinning everything. Eddie going back to jail too. CS2 ain't nothing but a straight spy. Listen, bro, these dudes is so goofy. Bro, they saying you a snitch. Where's your work? You talk to them people, where's your work? CS2 running out of setup money, and all this J-Cast is flipping the script until they get paid. They working hard. Nasty, nasty, nasty. Shit just been working and grinding, then got into a damn accident with a big rig. Damn. But he's in fault, so my attorney is talking upper six figures. So I'm going to ride this shit out, man. Prayers to you, man. I'm glad you survived that. You know what I'm saying? P. Nice say he don't believe nothing the police say, but he's sitting there interviewing with them right now and allowing them to call other police and informants. Salute to the Blue Ridge Mob, Carolina Connect TV. Salute, bro. I never heard that, and I've been tapped in the whole time. Oh, it was work, not green. Now I get it. Yikes, definitely someone snitched for sure. Snitch Hunter looks very uncomfortable and hoping the script stay on track. And Eddieboy is from Carson, not the Crenshaw district. Eddie going off script. He was trying to argue with me under Stand on the Media when I told him he's going to jail next. Laugh out loud. Claim he doesn't do illegal stuff around Whack. Subpoenaed Eddieboy and his phone records and his old case. Oh, yeah. Well, we got them. Well, I got the case right now. We finna go over that. Big U came home and turned up. The mob, salute. We got $10.99 super chat. Just here to support a real one. Bruh, salute, bruh. Hey, Cali born, boot raised. Thanks for the support. Everything donated to the Damu Kiwe conversation is appreciated. G-Max, salute, salute. Hey, Deuce, he said he was a Muslim at that particular time. So what that mean? He not Muslim no more? No, he a Crip. Eddieboy is obviously a Crip. He's still doing crimes. Every day he talking about gang politics. You know what I'm saying? Even though he's acting as if he's standing against the politics. You know what I'm saying? So he's acting like he's against the politics. But the craziest part is, every day you talk about it. If you was against it and you were away from it, then why are you putting input? Well, there's obviously an agenda here. So, yeah, he's a Crip, bro. He's still doing crimes. He's stealing money from people. Sounds real familiar. Then the chips say the same thing about, then the cops say the same thing about Whack. Yeah, I'm going to give you, look, I'm going to do you a favor. I owe you a favor. These the only niggas that I know that the FBI owe them favors, but they say they're not snitches. Sounds real familiar. I had to send this to you, Deuce. Shit had me hot hearing these busters lying. Ah, man, listen, man, they gonna lie. I ain't even worried about correcting all they lies, but we definitely gonna put the work in. Whack has the same story exactly. Why would they come to you out of all the people from 60s and tell you this? What was the purpose of them telling you if you far removed from it? Because they sent them back the words. Work. Let's finish hearing Crackhead Eddie. He done spent these niggas.
And they really told me to stay away from my crony.
And they really told me, hey, stay away from Big U. That's what he said.
You know, so they just basically gave me a heads up on what was going on at that particular time.
Right.
So that's what they did do. And then out the blue, here comes 600. What year was that? I think it was 2 years ago. 600 just called me out the blue. Yeah, right. I don't know who 600 really is, because I see him online sometimes and stuff like that, but I don't know him because he's not a part of my generation. I just know him and Draws is into it. So when he called me and he was telling me what happened to him, I said, man, he did me the same way. So he was like, what? I said, bro, it's public record. You can pull it up yourself. You pull it up on your phone. So he put it up on his phone, and then I don't know what 600 gonna do. So the next day, I'm at work, and on the internet, I get a text, and it's like our whole situation is online now.
Yeah.
You know, so I made it a point to find 600 myself, because when he be working out and all that stuff, I stay in that area, so I know where he at. So I pushed up on him myself, and I just got at him like, hey, bro, next time. I didn't care what he did. I was like, this next time, just give me a heads up so I can be ready.
Right.
You know, some type of certain situation. But that's just what that was, bro. And then he called me. Big U call. He don't call me. He called some of the Muslims, right, to get at me. So when he called some of the brothers, he get him on the phone. So I'm like, what's up? And the first thing he told me before I started talking to him, he told me he was hot. He did give me that courtesy. I give him that. He told me he was hot. And he told me why he was hot. He said he was on up an investigation for some type of on some federal stuff dealing with tax evasion and all that type of stuff, you know, that type of stuff. But he asked me, he said, hey man, won't you get on the internet or a platform and clear me? And I was like, clear you from what? He was like, man, just clear me, man. You know, they dragged me on the mud, they sent him a rat. And I said, okay, check this out. If I clear you, you give me these 2 affidavits from your boys, Nutty and Petey Whack, and I'll do what the hell you want to do, because my ultimate goal, bro, I want my little brother home. My little brother got backdoored, so I want him home. Right. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a shit who told. I don't care.
You don't care about who told, but that's what you've been talking about for 2 years, nigga. But look, we finna get into it. Eddieboy the snake. Let me see where that's at. Eddieboy. Damn. Or snake ass Eddieboy. Damn, I gotta find it. Let's finish listening to Crackhead Eddie, and then we're gonna get into the content.
I want my little brother home. So me and him agreed to do that. And then when he called again, he didn't have a call again. He called, one of the brothers called, and I was talking to one of the brothers, but the brother was in the backdraft. He had somebody else on the phone recording, and I told, they was like, man, I said, look, man, when we was coming up, we don't go by what the police is saying.
Right.
Right. And he used that.
Of course we don't go by what the police is saying. He tricked you to saying it yourself, nigga. Because you playing these motherfucking games trying to get your brat ass brother out. Let's go.
To clear himself. But he never helped little bro. You know what I'm saying? So when I seen that he did that,
Eddieboy,
I said, okay.
Tell him that we got a hold of Loose Cannon Daddy, and Loose Cannon Daddy said, Big, you a fucking lie. I ain't told him I was going to do shit. And when Eddieboy heard that, that's when he knew Big U was planning, and he came out with all the work.
Right, exactly. That's exactly how that happened.
Oh, damn, he just said he ain't want nothing to do with it. Like, he don't even know this nigga. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm
I'm telling you, like, we got the paperwork, bro, where the niggas kidnapped Loose Cannon Daddy.
So y'all know,
what that gotta do? What that gotta do? That's some criminal shit. Hold on. That's some criminal shit. Why? What does that got to do with whether or not Big U ratted? That was some gangster shit. If it was true, what does that got to do with Big U ratting? It's a spin move, but it's okay.
In the last 34 years, bro.
It's in the paperwork.
So what about the situation when?
Yeah, he been going.
What about the situation when you had when you was trying to get him and 600 to get back cool?
Just what I told him. I told him that day on the phone, that same day, that one time I said, hey, bro, if you feel some type of way about what's going on, I will come get you. And I know where the brother be at, and we can just go holler at him. And he didn't want to do it.
Who didn't want to do it?
600, not 600. Big U didn't want to go do it.
Imagine rat ass Eddieboy, who you know told on the 111s, telling you that if you got a problem with 600, he'll take you over to where he at. This nigga that you know that acts like he got so much animosity with you, he's so scared of you, and you know he's a rat. Big U was supposed to not go with you, nigga, because that was the setup. You had already been admittingly been talking to the feds and getting information from the feds since 2008. Do y'all understand that the first time Big U phone was ever tapped. Let me go get this for y'all real quick, bro. We'll get back to this right now. Hold on. Can y'all hear me? Yeah. Yeah, this is nasty work. Eddieboy the snake in here. Oh, we finna get up on. We finna go to your channel right now, bro. Just let me find this real quick. You know what I'm saying? Is Eddie claiming civilian life? Why is he doing all this? Eddie is doing all of this first because he was always scared of draws. Second, he was jealous of draws. Third, he had priors, so he got more time than draws on their case. Fourth, draws is the one that made the call once they got the word he was snitching on the nigga Tone for 111 for the other 6-0s to stand down. Nah, we ain't supporting that foul ass nigga. That nigga foul. And now he's trying to get his transmission brother out of jail. But hold on, we finna get this right now. Because the first time Big U phone, it just came out in the paperwork. Big U phone was tapped. Was what year? 2008. Nasty work. I'm finna grab this and I'm finna send it somewhere where I could blow this up on the screen for y'all to see. He said, what year did he talk to the feds at his probation office? 2008. What a coinky did. Big U phone was tapped in 2008, 2 times in 2000, 2 times in 2016. Principal LAUSA issued February 2008. All right, here it go. So we finna get this one, right? And then we finna get this one. See, these cats ain't as smart as they claim to be. Yeah. Hold on. We'll get back to Crackhead Eddie on this, and then we're going to go to Eddieboy the Snake page. I don't know fans giving heads up on shit. That's like God giving up heads up on the exact time of day you going to die. But y'all live in the same building. Make it make sense. Right. What's up, Philly on the check-in? Salute, Philly. Y'all bang that like button, man. We got 6 more days before I get ActiveChuckss back on. They don't want this to come out, bro. They don't want this to come out. I'm thinking he had his handler or somebody. I'm thinking he had his handler or somebody. So here it go right here. Bam. Right? I think he had his handler get it taken down. Man, that was the fastest I ever got an appeal back. 5 minutes. Nigga appealed it 5 minutes. I'm like, man, this is public record. What the fuck y'all mean? Harassment. So, can y'all see this? Oh, yeah, I got to blow that up bigger so y'all can read it. So, it's not getting no bigger. So, it says, Henley was named as a principal in an FBI Los Angeles case 281C LA 0246605 ELA, record number LA CDCA 1033 on February 22nd, 2008, signed by the United States District Judge John W. Walker in the Central District of California. The interception has been terminated. So, yeah, Crackhead Eddie just happens to be getting off parole. I wonder if he got off parole early. He just happened to be getting off parole the same time Big U is, and they giving him heads up about Big U. The same time they're investigating Big U. But he's saying that they're giving him heads up that Big U is ratting. We have the recording saying he ain't never spoke to Big U at all. Now he talked to him, laugh out loud. He said TD a liar. He don't know TD, and that he never spoke to Big U. He did say that. He did say he don't know TD and that he never spoke. Big Eddieboy told on Tone 111. Little Eddieboy told on Monster A-Tray Gangster. That's a fact. It don't have nothing to do. They want to discuss fake crimes, and the only way they get off the hook, it's if they lie on Big U for their handlers. Right. If you say Big U did it, Kid the Barber, salute. Make sure y'all subscribe to this channel, man. If y'all don't subscribe to this channel, we'll be here for about 6 more days because Crackhead Eddie reported ActiveChuckss. You know what I'm saying? We're on my burner page right now. CS2 back can't help it. He gives himself up every time, sounding like he's trying to get that second cooperative to get a nigga a case. Shaking my damn head. West Side, bad people, man. Bad people, bro. Police are allowed to lie to you to get a confession. And Crackhead Eddie Cocaine always got on the rat shiesty mask. Right. They reported your YouTube channel. Yeah, they reported ActiveChuckss for exposing the work. But you know what's crazy? Snitch 100 walking around with a gun and sealed record and open case. CS2 walking around with a gun, sealed case, and 2 badges. And Crackhead Eddie walking around with a police baton and an undercover mask, an ice mask, the black ice. You know what I'm saying? That is crazy. They whole crew compromised. So let's get back to this real quick, right? Let's get back to this. Man, forget all that. I don't even want to hear what they talking about. Rat ass niggas. Them niggas shouldn't even been on that platform. I don't know how these niggas be platforming these rats. I guess he called himself addressing them, but how you going to address them if you're not informed? That's a counsel in the law. If you address somebody without the paperwork, then if you address somebody without the paperwork, that's called incompetent. You know what I'm saying? Ineffective assistance to counsel. But here it is. He's admitting he's never read the work. Well, we're going to read the work. But first, we're going to go to my guy, Eddieboy the Snake page. You know what I'm saying? Eddieboy the Snake.
Remember I told you, brother, when I was incarcerated, I got dudes that, you know, they work for them alphabet boys. They police, boy. Bro, you know them niggas finally getting that video audience on that dude up in there getting down, Kevin?
Oh, is that right?
I got it.
Oh, damn.
Remember I told you, brother.
So here, Crackhead Eddie lies on Big U again, claiming that the feds that he grew up in Carson with his friends, he grew up in Carson with, worked with the alphabet boys. They feds, boy. You know they gave me the interrogation of Big U snitching on me, right? Well, why he ain't put this out? Why he ain't put this out? He wouldn't have to argue with nobody no more. If he had Big U making a statement against him, he would have put it out. But the paperwork itself, these dudes be so goofy. The paperwork, the appeal that he just referenced, which we're going to be reading, it clearly states that they offered Big U opportunity to waive his Miranda rights and make a statement, and he refused. So if he refused to make a statement, how are the feds giving you video footage or giving you video footage of Big U making a statement? And why would you believe them if they told you that they had that? Nah, nigga, this is the agenda. Let's go.
Remember Remember I told you, brother, when I was incarcerated, I got dudes that, you know, they work for them alphabet boys. They police, boy. Bro, you know them Negroes finally getting that video audience on that dude up in there getting down? Kevin?
Oh, is that right?
I got it.
Oh, damn.
So he said he got it. So the feds is giving him heads up. The feds is giving the audio of Big U snitching on him. You getting heads up from the feds. You getting audio from the feds. In 2008, Eddieboy gets mad at Whack 100 and 600 for running plays. We're not even gonna get into all of that. More to come. But he also stole some money. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Is that up here? I don't see that. It's on my page. I don't feel like looking for it. But he was stealing in, right? And then there go his brother snitching. Let's look. Can't make this shit up. Polo family, salute. Can't make this shit up, bro. You can't. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my bad.
But you gotta take in mind, my brother's 16. So when my brother, the police push up on my brother.
The police push up on my brother.
He give a statement.
Police push up on my brother in the hospital.
He give a statement. Right? So when he give a statement, they go get Monster. They catch him and they go get him.
They go, your brother get the same brother he say he trying to get out of jail. Selective politic. Well, it's my brother though, man. He should be able to tell. Y'all want to hold him accountable, but y'all is selective politicking. This nigga fine. But it's cool. You want to know why? We gonna get into this paperwork. And then I'm going to flame him up. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Do I got that ready already? So for those who didn't know, you know what I'm saying? Those who didn't know, Crackhead Eddie, you know what I'm saying? He got many aliases, you know what I'm saying? Many aliases, you know what I'm saying? Woo, we finna get into his aliases. And then, where we at with it? We got many aliases. I got 2 aliases. No, he got 3 aliases. So, let's go here, right? Hit that like button. Free Big U to Big U free. Salute, Damu. In that paperwork, he was Eddie Wagner. Why did he go back to changing his name to Eddie Harrison? Oh, I know, to hide his dirt so he could work without being exposed. But guess what? Everybody knows somebody. It's the 3rd video. Okay, I'm going to go back to it. Matter of fact, I think I got off your channel, bro. My bad, bro. I already got out. I'm supposed to show some love to my partner, man. You know what I'm saying? He's stealing. That's all he do is stealing. Many aliases. You know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and go on over to these list of aliases. You know what I'm saying? Nigga got more aliases than John Doe. You know what I'm saying? Hit that like button if y'all just coming up in here. You know what I'm saying? Uh-oh. Eddie Cocaine. Here go the paperwork. The people of the state of California. This was filed February 19, 2025. Y'all see that court stamp? Y'all see that case number? See, this is when you know it's official court docs, right? Eddie James Harrison, date of birth, right? Bam. So we got all of this, right? Oh, go the other way. Boom. Eddie J. Harrison, right? Los Angeles County, birthday 11/28/1965. Eddie J. Harrison, born November 28, 1965. Father's last name Harrison. Mama's maiden name Wagner. Eddie Wagner, Eddie Harrison. Eddie James Harrison. Not Eddie Kane, it's Eddie James Harrison. Harrison, not Eddie Kane, it's Eddie James. He thought he was going to get away banging that like button, bro. So hold on. So closer to trial we get, the closer to trial we get, the more desperate they are becoming. Oh, man, they don't want to go to jail, man. Hey, dude, find Eddie Harrison's son. He stole some money from him too. Yeah, I'm quite sure he did, man. I seen the address. We do not condone doxing. You know what I'm saying? We do not condone doxing at the Damu Kiwe conversations. You know what I'm saying? But if you in the Discord, they say the Discord is the devil. You know what I'm saying? Here it go. Here it go. There I go. Uh-oh. So here go the word. I got the word. P-Nice. You are you illiterate? You don't know how to read? Here go the case right here, 1994. People versus Austin. You know what I'm saying? This is the appeal that Austin is talking about. Those is the judges, the defendant, and appellant, David Austin. San Francisco, under appointment by the Court of Appeal for the defendant and appellant, Eddie James Wagner. Eddie James Wagner and Big U have a joint appeal. First, clip that. First, clip that. Eddie James Wagner, a.k.a. Eddie James Harrison, and David Austin, a.k.a. Eugene Henley Jr., have a joint appeal. Don't y'all think that it would be a conflict of interest if one was telling on the other to have a joint appeal? Y'all don't think that that's odd? I'm not finna be on an appeal arguing I didn't do it in a joint appeal with a niggas arguing that I had to do. So let's get into it. Defendants were convicted of possession of a controlled substance for sale, cocaine, robbery, and conspiracy to commit robbery. In addition, defendant Wagner was convicted of conspiracy to possess a controlled substance for sale. Oh, he got caught with some word. We conclude Wagner's conviction for conspiracy to possess a controlled substance for sale must be reversed due to insufficient evidence, and the sentences of both defendants on the robbery convictions must be stayed pursuant to Penal Code Section 654. In all of the respects, the judgments are affirmed. So Eddie gets back off the possession of drugs for sale. Facts and proceedings below. Deputy Sheriff Jose Romero, working undercover, was contacted by defendant Wagner about the possibility of purchasing cocaine. So crackhead Eddie is the one setting this liquor. And he contacts Jose Romero. Where did you meet Romero from? How do you know Deputy Sheriff Jose Romero? The two met for preliminary negotiations, and Romero agreed to sell Wagner 15 kilograms of cocaine at $13.5 per kilo. That's what I was paying. You know what I'm saying? You know, back in the days, you know what I'm saying? Deputy Romero and Wagner agreed to meet in a restaurant parking lot to carry out the sale. Romero met Wagner as agreed and got into Wagner's car. Wagner showed Romero stacks of cash, which Romero briefly examined and calculated to be approximately $190,000. Wagner told Romero he had an additional $10,000 under the seat. Romero then told Wagner he would go to a paid telephone and have the load card deliver the cocaine. At the payphone, Romero called Deputy Hartman, who was supervising the operation, and asked if the load card was in place. Hartman said there had been a delay and Romero should go back to the parking lot and wait. While he was waiting, Romero thought he was being observed and became nervous. He telephoned Deputy Hartman and told him he was calling the deal off. By that time, Wagner had left. So Wagner then pulled off, left the police with his money and pulled off, right? Later that day, Deputy Romero called Wagner at a number Wagner had given. He told the person who answered the phone to tell Wagner he had called off the deal. Subsequently, Wagner paged Romero on his beeper using a prearranged code number. When Romero called Wagner back, they agreed to set up the sale again at a different parking lot. This time, the load car was ready in the lot when Romero arrived. Numerous deputies were also present in hidden locations. As Romero and Wagner walked to the load car so that Wagner could see proof Romero had the drugs, defendant Austin approached, pointing a gun at Romero. Austin said, "Don't move or I'll kill you." He then put the gun against Romero's back. At that point, Wagner told Romero to give him the key to the load car. Romero complied. Wagner took the key to the load car and opened the trunk, exposing the cocaine to view. As he did this, Romero raised his hands in the air. At this prearranged signal, deputy sheriffs converged on the scene, yelling, "Police, freeze!" Wagner and Austin ran. Neither of them ever touched the cocaine. They were arrested a short time later. Austin and Wagner were charged with conspiracy to possess a controlled substance for sale, possession of a controlled substance for sale, robbery, and conspiracy to rob. Wagner was convicted on all counts. Austin was found not guilty of conspiracy to possess a controlled substance for sale and convicted on the remaining counts. Discussion. The evidence, oh, y'all got to hold on. This Maria. Dennis the Menace.
No, I said Menace to Society. It's
Oh,
two different ones.
okay, Menace to Society. What's up, baby?
I thought you were on live.
I'm on live, babe.
It's not showing up on my
Yeah,
YouTube.
because they Crackhead Eddie struck the ActiveChuckss page last night.
Oh, so now what?
I'm on Lamonte Sims.
Oh my God. Okay, bye.
Bye. All right, so they argued the evidence was insufficient to support Wagner's conviction of conspiracy to purchase or possess a controlled substance for sale. It is axiomatic a conspiracy requires at least two conspirators. Penal Code subsection 182 subdivision 8. People versus Superior Court Jackson, 1975. 44 count, they cite the cases, right? Wagner's conviction of conspiracy to purchase or possess cocaine cannot be upheld on the theory he conspired with his co-defendant, Austin, because the jury acquitted Austin on this charge. Consequently, Wagner's conviction depends on there being sufficient evidence he conspired with some other person whose identity is unknown. So wait a minute. Both Wagner and Big U get caught. Wagner is the connect with the police, who's supposed to be the plug. Damn, that sounds like Reggie Wright Jr., huh? The pig and the plug. You know what I'm saying? And he leaves them some money to do the drug deal. He don't even get his work. Then later on, he come back and double back, and he got Big U with him. And Big U come out and do his stuff. He gets the keys. He opens up the car, sees the work in the trunk, and then they hear freeze, get down, and it's all bad. He run, crackhead Eddie run, Big U run. Big U got bled, right? Big U only robbed him. Eddie is the one that opened the car trunk and had access to the keys, not Big U. So the conspiracy to purchase or possess a controlled substance for sale, Big U's found not guilty, meaning he went to trial, meaning Eddieboy went to trial. And because Big U beat that case, they appealed on a joint appeal. And even though Eddieboy was found guilty by the jury, the appellate court said, well, if you didn't conspire with Big U, then you can't be held guilty on conspiracy to purchase or possess controlled substance for sale. So that charge was dismissed on appeal by the appellate courts. If Big U is saying that only you touched the drugs, if Big U is saying that he conspired with you, then Big U would have had a conspiracy charge. A conspiracy to purchase or possess a controlled substance for sale. And you still would have had a conspiracy charge. But because Big U kept his mouth closed, because they couldn't attach him to having a plan to possess and purchase a controlled substance for sale, he ended up being the reason why you got off that charge. But you're saying he told on you. Wow. This shit is crazy, bro. Okay, and y'all both on the same appeal. Y'all both went to trial together. A conviction of conspiracy, oh, we already read that. When the sufficiency of the evidence is challenged on appeal, we review the entire record in the light most favorable to the judgment below to determine whether the judgment is supported by evidence, which is reasonable, credible, and of solid value, from which a reasonable trier of fact could find the defendant guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. We do not apply a stricter standard of review to cases, such as the one before us, in which all the evidence is circumstantial. Thus, the requirement, circumstantial evidence, must not only be entirely consistent with the theory of guilt, but must be inconsistent with any other reasonable conclusion, does not authorize an appellate court to reverse a judgment, even though the court may itself believe the circumstantial evidence might be reasonably reconciled with the defendant's innocence. But neither do we apply a more relaxed standard to cases involving circumstantial evidence. Thus, the judgment will be affirmed where the jury rejects the hypothesis pointing to innocence and there is substantial evidence to support the implied finding of guilt as the more reasonable of the two hypotheses. With these principles in mind, we proceed to determine whether a reasonable juror could have found from the evidence some unknown person agreed with Wagner to commit the offense of possession of controlled substance for sale. The evidence was insufficient to establish the existence of unknown co-conspirators. The people contend the evidence allowed the jury to infer the existence of at least one unknown co-conspirator. Whether a particular inference can be drawn from the evidence is a question of law. A reasonable inference may not be based on suspicion alone or on imagination, speculation, supposition, surmise, conjecture, or guesswork. It must logically flow from other facts established in the action. Here, the inference of the existence of an unknown co-conspirator is based entirely on the suspicion of the officers involved in the case and the conjecture of the prosecution. The people contend the evidence Wagner had $200,000 in cash and was purchased at 15 kilos of cocaine supports an inference a person or persons unknown must have been involved. The theory is Wagner could not have come up with $200,000 on his own, nor could he single-handedly distribute such a large quantity of drugs. On the contrary, there are a number of ways Wagner could have acquired $200,000, which do not involve a co-conspirator. For example, he could have acquired the money from previous drug transactions, or he could have stolen it. These explanations are at least consistent with what we know about Wagner from the facts of this case, while the explanation offered by the people, Wagner was bankrolled by a mysterious co-conspirator, lacks any factual basis. Furthermore, even assuming Wagner would need help in distributing 15 kilos of cocaine, it does not logically follow these distributors would have been involved in Wagner's plans to acquire the drugs. The people also point to evidence deputies Romero, Hernandez, and Grubb saw some suspicious individuals in the vicinity and of the drug transaction. Deputy Romero testified that while he was talking on a paid telephone to Deputy Hartman, a man came to the adjoining telephone. Romero testified he did not pay much attention to the man at first because I was speaking loudly to Deputy Hartman on the phone about the delay in delivering the cocaine. Later, Romero noted the man was not talking, but just listening with the receiver to his ear, but he wasn't doing anything. After Romero hung up, he noticed the man was looking at him as he drove away. The man was never seen again by any of the officers. The people urged the jury could have inferred the man at the payphone was a co-conspirator, pretending to use the phone, but in reality, surveilling Deputy Romero. No juror could logically and reasonably draw such an inference. Deputy Romero admitted he was not paying any attention to the man at first, and that he was talking loudly to Deputy Hartman. The man could very well have put his coins in the phone and spoken before Deputy Romero paid him any attention. The man may not have been speaking because he was merely using a phone to listen to messages on his answer machine at home or in his office. The man may have been looking at Deputy Romero because he believed he had overheard Romero discussing the drug transaction. Let me wet my whistle. Hit that like button. Y'all see how nasty this work is? Y'all make sure y'all share this too, bro. Active in the chat. Whoa, what good prices. Yeah, welcome to LA. You know what I'm saying? Crack cocaine capital. You know what I'm saying? Back then, you know what I'm saying? That's what I was referring to earlier. Laugh out loud. I knew I heard that right. Carlos Santana comes to mind. Maria, Maria. That's why Eddie really mad, right? Yeah, man, nasty work. Conjecture means to make a decision with the evidence you have. Right. So let's get back to it, right? So Deputy Romero testified that after the incident involving the man on the telephone, he decided to call Deputy Hartman again. This time he went into the lobby of an office building across the street from where he had placed the first call. He was somewhat preoccupied and a little nervous. Deputy Romero stated, I went into the lobby area of the office building. I came across a second individual that was inside the lobby area. We met as he was standing out by the front door. We had almost bumped into each other. I noticed that he was obviously making observations of me in the parking lot, and when I walked into the lobby, he immediately started to go for the buttons on the elevator, started to push buttons on the elevator. At this point in time, I became very suspicious. Finding no telephone in the lobby, Deputy Romero left the building and never saw the man again. With deference to Deputy Romero's experience as an undercover officer dealing with drug sales, we failed to see anything suspicious about the behavior of the man in the office building, much less any evidence which could reasonably connect him with Wagner. Deputy Hernandez and Grubb testified they saw 2 cars in the vicinity of the parking lots where the drug sales were to take place. They suspected the individuals in these cars might be carrying out counter surveillance, but they could not say whether for Wagner, Austin, or for someone else. Deputy Hernandez testified he observed the individuals in one of the cars have a brief conversation with Austin. Neither deputy offered any evidence connecting the persons in these cars with Wagner. Finally, the people point to Deputy Romero's testimony about a telephone conversation he had with an unknown person following the first aborted attempt to complete the drug sale. According to Deputy Romero, after he became suspicious, he was being observed. He called the number he had for Wagner to tell him he was calling off the deal. The telephone was answered by a male whose voice Romero did not recognize. Romero told the person to notify Wagner that the deal or the operation was off, that I thought I had seen cops in the area and that I was going to leave. Later, Wagner called Romero using the beeper code Romero had previously given him. From this testimony, the peoples argued the jury could have inferred the persons who answered the phone passed Deputy Romero's message on to Wagner, thus establishing this person was working with Wagner on this drug transaction. No such inference could logically be drawn. Romero did not give his beeper code to the person who answered Wagner's telephone. Wagner had already had it. Thus, there is no basis for inferring the person who answered the phone passed Romero's message on to Wagner. The foregoing constitutes the totality of the evidence pertaining to the existence of some unknown co-conspirator. There is nothing in the record from which a jury could reasonably infer a co-conspirator existed. B, there was no evidence anyone specifically intended to agree with Wagner to commit the crime of possession of a controlled substance for sale. As a separate and independent ground for reversing Wagner's conspiracy conviction, we have concluded even if there was sufficient evidence someone other than Austin acted with Wagner in the effort to possess a controlled substance for sale, evidence of an agreement to commit the crime is missing. Conspiracy is a specific intent crime, with the intent divided into 2 elements. The intent, and then gets into the law, right? So that's all it's really talking about so far, is about whether conspiracy was applicable, conspiracy to possess was applicable. The appellate court found that it was insufficient evidence to support such an inference, right? So finally, okay, let's get to this. Wagner and Austin were convicted of possession of cocaine for sale. They contend the evidence was insufficient to establish possession. We disagree. The evidence showed Deputy Romero, acting undercover, agreed to sell 15 keys of cocaine to defendant Wagner. Romero and Wagner met in the parking lot to carry out the transaction. Romero parked his car in the lot with the cocaine in the trunk and walked over to Wagner's car. After some discussion, Romero agreed to show Wagner at least 1 kilogram to demonstrate good faith. The 2 men walked back to Romero's car. As they approached Romero's car, Austin appeared and pointed a gun at Romero. Austin told Ramiro, "Don't move or I'll kill you." He then ordered Ramiro to turn around, placed the barrel of his gun against Ramiro's back, and stated to Ramiro, "If you move, I'll kill you." At this point, Wagner ordered Ramiro to give him the keys to the car. Ramiro handed Wagner the keys to the trunk, and Wagner opened it, exposing the cocaine in view. As Wagner opened the trunk, Ramiro raised his hands in the air. This was a prearranged distress signal, and officers who had been surveilling the scene immediately descended on the defendant, shouting, "Police, freeze!" Wagner and Austin fled on foot, never touching the cocaine. The element of possession may be established by evidence showing the defendant had actual or constructive possession of the cocaine. Actual possession occurs when the defendant exercises direct physical dominion and control over the item, however briefly. Constructive possession does not require direct physical control over the item, but does require that a person knowingly exercise control or right to control a thing either directly or through another person or persons. Defendants argue there's no evidence they ever exercised control. They're arguing this together. Or a right to control over the cocaine in Ramiro's trunk. They contend transitory possession of the trunk key did not confer control over the trunk's contents. We find defendants' arguments lacking in factual and legal support. Right? Man, I witnessed the possibility. All right, bam. So here it go. The prosecutor did not impermissibly comment on Austin's silence after receiving the Miranda warning. Deputy Hartman testified on direct examination. Now, have you guys ever heard of Deputy Hartman through this whole case? Anybody that they talked about on this case, did y'all hear about Deputy Hartman? It's the first time we heard of Deputy Hartman in this whole investigation, right? Well, Deputy Hartman testified on direct examination that shortly after he arrested Austin, who was Big U, but before he gave him the Miranda warnings, Austin made a spontaneous statement. I should have never gone to work for Eddie, meaning Wagner. On cross-examine, counsel for Austin, Big U lawyer, asked Deputy Hartman whether and when Austin made this remark. Hey, did Big U make that remark? Yeah. Well, when was this? He asked Austin if he would care to make a full and complete statement or acknowledge in writing the statement regarding going to work for defendant Wagner. Deputy Hartman replied he did neither of these things. On redirect examination, Deputy Hartman testifies as follows. Now, later on, did you give Austin the opportunity to make a full statement to you? Answer, yes, sir, I did. Question, how did you do that? Answer, with the Miranda card. Question, you advised him Miranda? Answer, yes, I did. And did he offer to give you a full statement? You haven't given him the opportunity? Answer, he declined. He declined. So this statement that Eddie says is in the appellate brief, where Big U says, I never touched the dope, Eddie Wagner did. Well, I don't see that statement. Even the police alleging that Big U made that statement. The police is alleging that Big U said, I should have never went and worked with Eddie. Big U was contesting that. That means it's his word against the police. Crackhead Eddie admits you believe your homeboy over the police because the police can lie. He just told that to the Crips from Long Beach on that show. P. Nice in it. But for the case against Big U, because Big U Is it helping him and his rat-ass brother get out of jail? Helping him to get his rat-ass brother out of jail? Now he's spreading that Big U told on him, that he believes the police. I wonder, was this, oh, this had to be after 2008. All of this comes after 2008 when he was in the parole office and the FBI told him, stay away from Big U. So you talking to the FBI and the name, not just the hood, generally speaking, the name Big U comes up. The same year, Big U was first wiretapped. This nasty work, bro. Yeah, I'm going to drop this paperwork. It's already on the internet for anybody who want to check it out. You know what I'm saying? Look like another indictment is coming for the Hunted side. Laugh out loud. Them feds don't take it too well being played and lied to. And if they got to take a loss, they're going to dog walk CS2, 600, Eddieboy, and the rest. I believe that, bro. I really do. Nico for real 5, salute, bro. So they was upset. We gonna go ahead and get into this other content. You know what I'm saying? They can't take this down. I changed the thumbnail I had. I had the thumbnail. The thumbnail said he living in Whitsec with 600. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what they say. Hold on. Let me get that content. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna, let me put this in here. How can I put this link? Let's put this link for anybody who wants to read the entirety of the case to make sure we don't hide nothing. You can look for it yourself. I just put it in the chat. We got to work on Big U. That's Big U work. From his robbery case. They tried to hit the Migo for 15 keys. Deuce, Eddie spoke on Big U. He tried to get Big U to write a letter through developing options to help get his brother out, and Big U refused to. So just like Rose, he got pissed and went on a rant. Right. He wants some help getting his don't, man, nobody don't save that rat. You know what I'm saying? So where we at? Let me go ahead and snatch this up for y'all real quick. Right? Oh, yeah, this was yesterday. We're going to let this play for y'all, man. Y'all hit that like button. Share, tell a friend. Make sure y'all subscribe if y'all haven't already done it. And we finna let this play. Let's go. I made the post. You know what I'm saying? I made a lot live. I'm supposed to be massaging Maria's feet and her back, her neck, her back, and all them good things. You know what I'm saying? I ain't supposed to be hanging out with y'all this late. You know what I'm saying? But this was an emergency live. You know what I'm saying? We got the content. That's a fact. So you thought you was gonna hide from us. You see, you joined the wrong team twice. First, you joined the feds. This is the man who caught a Fed case. He never told us about it until I pulled up Federal Bureau of Prisons and found out that he had a Fed number, which means that he was indicted and was imprisoned in the Fed for a period. Then he tries to brush it off and said he had a gun case, but his brother took the gun case. But we got your brother name, the same rat-ass brother that snitched on Monster Cody. Monster Cody called it out in the book. He shot your brother in the head. After your brother takes his butt wound, he makes a statement. You admit that. Against Monster Cody. He went down like a snitch. Just like his big brother. See, Crackhead Eddie also told on Tone for 111. That's what Big U knew about. That's why Big U pushed back away from Eddie Kane. But when me and Big U was up, they said, don't hurt him too bad, Deuce. We need him around so you can keep going back to the courthouse. Nah. This how you run a nigga off the internet. I hope y'all heard me. My bad. Did y'all hear me? Ones in the chat? Y'all heard everything I said? Because when I go over there, it's starting to mute up, and it used to didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? Hit that like button on y'all way in. I believe he's working, and if he's not, Wack most definitely leaking info to Eddie and 600. Well, you know him and 600 is bunkies and Witset. Salute. Okay, so y'all did hear me. But listen, no, this how you run. This how you run a old head up off the internet for good. Cover blown, right? So let me put it right here. Is Eddie Kane real name? 1. Eddie Wagner. Hold on. He got so many. That nigga got more aliases than my bad. Let me fast forward it. And when he got his federal gun case, his brother came to the feds and took the case off of him. His brother, who has zero history at doing federal time. Bang that like button. I know, my bad. Just some more of it. Deuce, what's your email? ActiveChuckss@gmail.com. I'm going to put it in the chat. ActiveChuckss@gmail.com. All right, so what we finna do is we finna show y'all exactly what's going on. Young Yachty, salute King Tyson. Hey, yeah, send me the link ASAP, King Tyson. So for those who didn't see it, stop talking and read, gang. Hey, 2KX, calm down, bro. Deuce, is your microphone? Yeah, my microphone was off, man. My bad. Trucker Mike went dead. No sound, big homie. We good now for sure. P-Funk and no funk. So look, I'm finna grab this for y'all real quick. We got the camera. Hey, Crackhead Eddie. Everybody at Eddie Wagner. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Oh, this some nasty work. Y'all see this? Crackhead Eddie Kane. Is this your birthday? When was the fake Muslim? Let me make sure that y'all can still see me, right? When was the fake Muslim gonna tell us about his alias and his pending court case? Pending court case. Is this your birthday? Stop blaming your problem on gangs and accept responsibility for your actions. Hashtag ETE at Scandalous Los Angeles TV. Crackhead Eddie, there goes the case number. The people of the state of California versus Eddie James Harrison. Date of birth, 11/28/1965. Misdemeanor complaint filed. Superior Court of California, County of Los Angeles. February 19th, 2025. So this was a year ago, right? He caught this case. Boom, that's when they charged him. But on or about March 23rd, 2023, in the county of Los Angeles, city of Inglewood, state of California, the crime of grand theft by embezzlement in violation of PC 487. See, this is all fresh on my desk. PC, what was it? 487. So we need to make sure we authenticate 487A. I think it said A. Let's see what this say about 487A, right? We got $10 super chat. Not too much on the union. Oh, here we go. Southern Force, salute, salute. Eddie Crackhead Cocaine, salute. Free Big U. Y'all hype it up, bang that like button. $10 super chat. A publicist from Rap-A-Lot just exposed CS2 back on real life streeters as hip hop police. You got to check it out. I checked it out this morning, King Tyson. Somebody sent it early this morning, bro. When I checked it out, I believe her finding, but I don't believe her story. You know what I'm saying? Everybody be jumping on stories. She said that he was the detective that got her with the hip hop police in New York. Why would he be a detective in New York? Then she was talking about young Dolph funeral being in Texas, which it wasn't. There's too many inconsistencies, bro. Entertaining, but you know I can't stamp that with my credibility. But look, so what we did find out, PC 487 means a person violates PC 487 when they steal, take, or carry away property worth more than $950, stealing merchandise, taking expensive electronics, jewelry, or equipment, theft of high-value personal property, large-scale shoplifting, or coordinated retail. That's what Crackhead Eddie got caught for. Mo Hill, salute, salute. Hit that like button, Jakari Moore. Salute, salute, salute. So then, let's get back to the word. Was committed that Eddie James Harrison on and between September 6, 2022 and March 23rd, 2023. And while said defendant was an agent, servant, or employee of Lynn Francis J., did unlawfully take from said Lynn Francis J. money and personal property, which aggregates to a value exceeding $950 in any 12 consecutive month period, plus 1 year county jail. So he was an agent or servant of Lynn Francis J. Lynn Francis J., while he taking care of this elderly person, he's taking advantage of him. He's stealing from him so he could go gamble. What a piece of shit. Take advantage of the elderly for your gambling addiction. I told y'all he wasn't a Muslim. He goes by Big Eddieboy 1. Eddieboy 1. You're not a rapper. So why are you still saying Eddieboy 1? Eddieboy is a name attached to the Rolling 60s. I thought you hate the Rolling 60s. I thought you wasn't a gang member no more. I thought you was against that. But every day you talk about street politics, Big U, his case, the Rolling 60s, the Crenshaw District, and anything that has to do with crime and gang. All the while, the hypocritical position that you took as a fake Muslim, I mean, from this angle, it looked like it's 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You scared to jump in the pool because you was afraid you was going to drown when Big U was out. Now he in jail. It seems like you got 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Count 2. On or about March 23rd, 2023, in the county of Los Angeles, city of Inglewood, state of California, the crime of theft by false pretenses in violation of PC 532A, a misdemeanor, was committed in that Eddie James Harrison on and between September 6, 2022 and March 23rd, 2023, did knowingly and designingly by false or fraudulent representation or pretense defraud Lynn Francis J. of money exceeding $950. The big baller. Count 1. On or about September 6, 2022, count 3, 2023, 2022, and March 23rd, 2023, in the county of Los Angeles, city of Inglewood, state of California, the crime of contracting without license in violations of business and professions code sections 7028A, a misdemeanor, was committed in that Eddie James Harrison did unlawfully engage in the business of and act in the capacity of a contractor without then and there having a license obtained from the contractor's state license board of the state of California, authorizing him to do so. 6 months. Count 3, count 2, count 1. For Eddie James Harrison. Is that your birthday right there, crackhead Eddie? November 28, 1965. On or about January 25th, 2022, the county of Los Angeles, city of Inglewood, state of California, the crime of contracting without license in violations of Business and Professions Code, section 7028A, a misdemeanor, was committed in that Eddie James Harrison did unlawfully engage in the business of and act in the capacity of a contractor without then and there having a license obtained from the contractor's state license board of the state of California, authorizing him to do so. He's running his business, acting as a contractor, claims he's always getting booked here, there, even want to book him out of state, but he has no license. See, his business ain't together. You know what I'm saying? Oh, shit. Hey, bro, He's, what's that shit called? Janky Promotions, nigga. The fake Muslim is Janky Promotions, doing crime. Now he done got caught up. Then he doing bad business. On or about June 30th, 2022, in the county of Los Angeles, city of Inglewood, state of California, the crime of contracting without license in violation of Business and Professions Code Section 7028A, a misdemeanor, was committed in that Eddie James Harrison did unlawfully engage in the business of and act in the capacity of a contractor without then and there having a license obtained from the Contractor's State License Board of the state of California, authorizing him to do so. So here it goes right here. So if you can't see this, let me see if I can click on it and make it a little bit bigger for y'all. Eddie James Harrison, born November 28, 1965 in LA, California. His father's name is Harrison, and his mother's maiden name is Wagner. He's a bastard child. If Eddie is still alive, he's now blank years old. And there goes the birthday. Eddie J. Harrison, male, 11/28/1965. Mother's maiden name, Wagner. Remember you came to the internet? Remember you came to the internet, crackhead Eddie? So when was you going to tell us about this name change? You've been flip-flopping your name, you know what I'm saying? Then you got Eddie Abdul Aziz. You want to be an Arab. You've adopted an Arab name, you know what I'm saying? Even though that is one of the Afro-Semitic languages, you know what I'm saying? But you not up from up over there in that desert, you know what I'm saying? So this dude is confused, man, but he got more aliases than John Doe. Big Eddieboy 1, Eddie Abdul Aziz, Eddie James Harrison, Eddie Wagner, right? Oh, shit, we got crackhead Eddie in here. Dummy, I have a license. I just got it back. You got that case, though, Why don't you come up here, crackhead Eddie? Let's have a conversation, crackhead Eddie. I usually don't allow informants on my stage, but I'm quite sure this would be to the delight of everybody here. We got crackhead Eddie in the building. I dropped the link for crackhead Eddie. You know what I'm saying? So all you got to do is grab the thing, the T-Move contractor. Eddieboy, you give penitentiary Muslims a bad name. Yeah, he was a jailhouse Muslim looking for protection. Come on up here, you fake Muslim. Wagner put together a whole network of rats. That's a fact. A contractor for what? Building cases? Eddieboy, the first thing a Muslim get rid of is hate in his heart. Vengeance in your heart. Nasty work, bro. Nasty work. And the coward won't even come up here. I dropped the link for him, knowing he's an informant, and we anti-informants over here, right? We do not ride with them, right? And he's such a coward. He's scared to come up here. 1-800 Brick City. So how he gonna face a real one and look him in the eye? That's why he hides behind that mask. You the dummy. Eddieboy knowing Whack is one of CS Eddie, future millionaire, say, you the dummy, Eddieboy, knowing Whack is one of CSH's, confidential human sources, CHS. Keith McCulley, salute. Hey, look, man, crackhead Eddie, talk all that big shit. Eddie, did Whack fire you? You don't know nothing about no work, and you don't know nothing about that. The case, that's a working case. Yeah, and you working. Hey, why don't you come up here and tell us about it, big guy? Since you think you're big and tough. Well, salute to the chat. Why you didn't tell us you had a penny cap? Where do you hit a wire tap? You'll see, dummy, I'm out. Where do you hit the wire? Where do you hit a wire tap? Look, he can't even, bro, you don't know how to converse? Are you dyslexic? You don't know how to put together and formulate and write a sentence? I got your bitch ass up out of here, Eddieboy. Eddieboy, you let 600 goofy ass speak on your case that you didn't even speak on. Fatty boy the rat. Listen, man, Fatty boy the rat, he gone. He high. He high. Hey, listen, this is an emergency live exposing crackhead Eddie Wagner. I see he didn't answer none of them questions. Is that your birthday, Eddie boy? You say that's your case, right? You say that's your case, right? I'm just saying. I got my license back. You don't know nothing about business. No, he said you don't know nothing about work. I don't know nothing about working as far as the working that you doing for them people. But business is my specialty. I majored in it. You didn't know? Oh. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you meant to say. You was trying to imply that I didn't know about business, not working. Because that part would pertain to the business of whatever occupation that you had going on. I wonder if Eddieboy Wagner 600 got the same handler. People hate the truth, dudes. Yeah, they hate it. Positive vibes only. Yeah, man, this is nasty work, bro. He knows now. Okay, they got me. Okay, we can't hear it now. Y'all can hear. That's good. What happened to 600? He's been silent. Oh, man, the Crip cop, he gonna say something soon. You know what I'm saying? The Crip cop gonna say something soon now. You know what I'm saying? He got up out of here. Just an old Crip from L.A. Salute. Hey, listen, bro. These dudes got all kind of cases. You know what I'm saying? You see, he didn't answer that about his gun case. You see, the coward didn't want to come up here. Run your ass up off this internet, boy. See, dudes, you Randy Molly, here and now we won't be able to get no information from when he go back to the court with his mask on like he Batman. Oh, shit, man. The Dark Avenger, nigga. Is that the same one that come on YouTube with the mask on? Yeah, that's him. That's him. 600, you're 20 years older than 600. Why you and 600 in common scared of Big U? Whack is straight up felon carrying a gun. Hey, shit. The feds ain't got an issue with it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they was on me. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what's up with this. So, okay, my boy Zoo Life just released some. So, Crackhead Eddie, you gonna run, huh? What a cloud. But let me make, I know all the funny games, the content, bang your like button. Whack 100 stew pigeon, Crackhead Eddie, who lied on Big U. He said Big U told on him, right? He said Big U told on him. Well, first, he when he was confronted, he said, I don't know 600, I don't know no you Whack 100, I don't know no podcast, no nothing, right? I wouldn't say that. I'm not pushing that. I'm a Muslim. You know what I'm saying? I just want my little brother out. Oh, but the police said that, but you can't believe the police. You couldn't believe the police, but here you is now, back preaching that Big U's a rat. Snitch jacketed Big U, who was the target of a federal investigation. That's a common COINTEL tactic to build distrust in the community, to cut off support, knowing that he was facing. You said he told you he was under investigation. And then within a couple months, we see you working out with the Crip cop, Christopher Love. Boom. You didn't tell us about this case. You throwing a whole bunch of rocks like you didn't live in a glass house. Speaking of glass house, Glass Jaw, Christopher Glass Jaw, you next. See, one thing I learned about this internet, if you got any smut on you, all you got to do is keep talking. Somebody gonna have time today. Somebody is going to see and dislike the positions that you take, the hypocrisy that they see. Good thing we found out Wack was an informant first, because now he keeps saying, show me the work, but your name not going to be in the work because it's working. No, that's not even why. His name all throughout Big U paperwork. That's the crazy part. He keep talking about showing the work. Nigga, you talk to the FBI. You show us your work, nigga. You were never supposed to interview with the FBI. And you told us that they never talked to you. In fact, you and Crip had the assistant United States attorney declare publicly that you guys have never talked to none of their team, but you talked to the FBI. So why was they lying? Why was they defending you in the first place? Well, I heard that the feds have to protect and defend their snitches. You know what I'm saying? Just like crackhead Eddie. So let me say this, right? I want to talk to all of the young brothers in the inner city for a minute. Not from a place of judgment, not from a place of superiority, but from a place of experience and observation. Because the streets today are not the streets our older homies grew up in. The game has changed. The rules have changed. And most importantly, the players have changed. Back in the day, you knew who you were dealing with. If somebody was solid, they stood on that. If somebody was foul, word got ran. Today, a lot of people walking around with street reputation are living double lives. One face for the hood, another face for law enforcement. And I need y'all to really hear that. There are people who will change their names, change their identities, change their religions, change their image, wearing a mask every time he go live, all to distance themselves from past cases, all to clean up their paperwork, all to position themselves to work with the system, not because they found God, not because they found peace, not because they want growth, but because they found an exit strategy. See, the system understands something. They can flip one person. They don't need to police a whole neighborhood. They just need one person inside the circle. And some people will take that deal because they're tired of running. They're tired of hiding. They're tired of looking over their shoulder. So they trade loyalty for comfort. They trade silence for stability. They trade their past for a new identity. And once that happens, they don't just disappear, they become assets. An asset's job is simple. Feed information, shape narratives, point fingers, create conflict, and quietly guide attention towards certain targets. Sometimes that target is an old enemy. Sometimes it's somebody who outgrew them. Sometimes it's somebody doing better than them. Sometimes it's somebody they're jealous of. So they weaponize rumors. They weaponize accusations. They weaponize the internet. Because in 2026, you don't need paperwork to destroy somebody's life. You just need a viral lie. And I need y'all to understand this part clearly. The loudest person online is not always the realest person in the room. Sometimes the loudest person is the most protected person. Sometimes the loudest person is the one working. That's why I tell young brothers, stop building your identity around street validation. Because street validation does not come with health insurance. Does not come with retirement plans. It does not come with legal protection.
Mario Lopez, salute Gambino.
It comes with trauma. Worst of all, it comes with betrayal. The same people who dap you up today might be building a case on you tomorrow. The same people who call you brother today might be sitting in an air-conditioned office later explaining your whole life to strangers. So what's the solution? It's not paranoia. It's discipline. Move smarter, talk less, post less, brag less. Stop telling everybody your moves. Stop broadcasting your problems. Stop trying to look dangerous. Dangerous doesn't build families. Dangerous doesn't create ownership. Dangerous doesn't leave legacies. Ownership does. Education does. Skill sets do. Legal money does. I'm telling you this with love. The streets don't love you back, homie. They use you. They chew you up, then they replace you. But you are irreplaceable. You are valuable. You are intelligent. You are needed. You don't have to crash out, homie, to prove you exist. To prove that to these rats that you realer than them. You don't have to destroy your future to prove you're tough. The real flex in 2026 is staying free. The real flex is feeding your family. The real flex is owning something. The real flex is outliving your enemies. So before you follow anybody, especially these old frauds like Crackhead Eddie, ask yourself, are they free? Are they stable? Are they building? Or are they just loud? Because a lot of loud people are being sponsored by the system. And a lot of quiet people building real lives. Choose wisely, protect your mind, protect your name, protect your future, because once you lose your freedom, everybody else keep living, except you. Stay dangerous in your purpose, man. Not in your self-destruction. And I love all y'all. Stay alive, stay aware, stay evolved. It's the Damu Kiwe conversation. So, what you got to say, bro?
We gonna end this one right here.
I gotta make some calls, take care of some business, man. But we gonna go live again today. So turn on your notifications, hit that notification bell so that as soon as we go live, y'all get the content. We're gonna be doing this for 6 more days. You know what I'm saying? 7 days. They got me suspended. You know what I'm saying? Angela, salute, staying solid. Hey, we up out of here though. Damu Kiwe. Conversation. Wait, we did get a super chat. Let me make sure I shouted that out. Slim Ovo, West, this bad work. And then Cali Born Boot Raised, $9.99. Salute, man. Appreciate the donations. Anything donated to the Damu Kiwe conversation, appreciate it. But next time, hit that Cash App. It's right on the bottom ticker. You know what I'm saying? That way YouTube ain't got to take half. But we out of here. Damu Kiwe.